Hi, it's Charming Rose. So I haven't been posting a video in a month, so I'm going to be talking about, because since I was watching a compilation that somebody created, a part 1 and a part 2 video of Jade West from Victorious. So when Victorious first came out in 2010, I was 13. I did not like Jade. I didn't like the way she treated Tori. And I didn't understand that. But now, as a 24-year-old and bisexual, I see what she did. So basically, Jade was... she didn't have feelings. She had feelings, but she hid them. So basically, she was dating Beck from the beginning of the show and the end of the show, the cast. Elizabeth Gilly played Jade, so her character was dating Beck until the end of the show when they broke up and then they got back together towards the end of the show. But still, I feel like Jade actually might have had feelings for Tori. Because when I was watching the video that the person made a part 1, and then they made a part 2 video, I was noticing a lot of scenes with Tori. A lot of the scenes where Jade would say certain things, like adult jokes, or Jade would eye people down. The person she'll eye down the most, or look at the lower half of their body, was Tori. There was a lot of things where she eyed her down, or she'll say certain things to her, and that went over our heads as a kid. But now I'm like, yep, Jade was buying the... Elizabeth Gilly did come out an article saying that Jade, a lot of people told her that Jade helped them come out to their parents in middle school, and how a lot of kids in middle school were finally discovering themselves as being bisexual. So shout out to Elizabeth Gillies for... I don't think Victoria's Help Me came out. I just decided to come out on my own in 7th grade. So yeah, because I was in 7th grade. But when I started discovering more about bisexual when I was 8th grade, but about me being bisexual, not anybody else, me. But yeah, and I want to talk about why I think Victoria's could have been... We're going to talk about later on in this chatting why I think Victoria should have had originally aired on Teen Nick and not Nickelodeon. It shouldn't have been a kids show. It should have been a young adult show like Degrassi, but a little bit more comedic, a little more comedy, and not so serious like Degrassi. Because Degrassi, every season would talk about different characters. Each season of Degrassi had a certain amount of characters they would talk about. There was the extras, and then there was the people that auditioned to play characters. So sorry, guys. If there's a sign outside my house, that means the AC thing that's outside my house is about to turn on, so that means my AC is about to turn on. So, other than that, yeah, Degrassi talked about a lot of different things. Degrassi didn't originally come on Teen Nick. It originally came on one of the lower channels, like I think it came on either NBC, ABC, or Fox. I'm not going to put CBS on there. But it ended up, I think it got canceled. So they moved it to Teen Nick because they might have moved it from that channel because it was getting low ratings. Because Degrassi originally came out in the 90s. The original Degrassi, here in the 90s. Because if you notice some of the cast, the adult cast, from the Degrassi show in the 2000s that worked at the school, they were in the original cast, 90s. So Degrassi wasn't on for that long in the 90s. Degrassi airs from 1987 to 1991. Hold on, never mind, I'm wrong. Yeah, it aired from 1987 to 1991. It wasn't on for that long after Degrassi that aired in the 2000s. That one aired in 2001 to all the way to 2015. Yes, if you don't know, fun fact, Drake was on the show. But he went by his birth, as an actor, he went by his birth name, Aubrey. That's his first name. And yes, he was like the biggest person to come out of that show. He played Jimmy Books. And he was on the first season of the show. And all the people that played on the show now should be in their 30s. Yeah, they all should be in their 30s now. Because let's see how old Drake is. Because all the cast members that played in the first and second season, the first 3 seasons, should all ought to be in their early 30s, late 20s, or middle 20s now. Yo, so it says Drake is, and yes, Degrassi was a Canadian show. It says Drake is, sorry guys, I have something holding my phone up so I can't. This Drake is 34. He should be turning 35 this year. Yeah, he's turning 35 this year. And this show, Drake was the biggest person to come out of that show. Because I think this was the only show he played in. And then after that, he stopped acting. And then he went into rapping some years in the middle 2000s. And he was the biggest person to come out of the show. But yeah, that show was great. And that's why I think Victorious could have been like Degrassi. But it could have been like... Victorious could have been like Degrassi, but just not too much. It wouldn't have had a lot of serious topics. It would have had some serious topics, but not like as Degrassi. I don't want it to copy Degrassi, but it wouldn't have like big serious topics. It wouldn't have had big serious topics, and it would have had a little bit more of comedy. It would have been like a coming of age show, like Grownish. It would have been like Grownish, a little bit of coming of age. Because I would like to see Jade realize her sexuality. Because that character helped a lot of people when I was in middle school realize their sexuality. And high school, because there was people in high school that was even watching that show. Because when that show went off, I was in high school. When it went off. I think I was in high school. Hold on. It came out in 2010. Yeah, 2013. I was in high school. I was in 9th grade when it went off. So, let's check. Let's see. We're going to check. So, this show came out in 2010, and it went off in 2013. Yeah, the final episode was in March 2013. Yep, the final episode was in March, and it was a good show. A lot of people loved it. Nowadays, as a lot of people loved it, but now as an adult, some people said, Victorious. Some people said her, Victoria Justice. Some people said her character was. They didn't really like her. She couldn't sing. People still think Victoria Justice can sing. I think she can sing, but they think the character. A lot of people used to make fun of her for saying that she couldn't sing. And her character couldn't sing. And a lot of people thought she shouldn't have been the main character of that show. And some people thought Kat should have been the main character. The character Ariana Grande played. Some people thought about if Jade, what would happen if Jade or Kat was the main character? The show would have been a little bit different. It would have been nice to see Jade as the main character. Because, like, to me, I'm not going to judge somebody on the singing because I cannot even sing that well. I'm not the worst singer in the world, but I haven't took vocal lessons. I used to do vocal warm-ups online and practicing my voice. But other than that, I actually haven't took professional vocal lessons, seen somebody to pay vocal lessons, so I'm not going to judge. Victoria Justice, I hope she goes back into acting because I don't know what happened. After she did Victoria, she could not find another job in acting. Unlike the other cast members that was able to find other jobs in acting. She couldn't. She ended up playing on the show on MTV, and that show got canceled after 1 season. It was about her helping. It was about her sister went missing, and the cops didn't know. The cops didn't have a lot of evidence, but she wanted to find out why her sister went missing, so she was trying to help the cops find her sister. And that show got canceled. That's the show she played in. And she played in this other movie about, it's called Outcast. I think that's the name of the show. About some kids that are outcast in high school and they end up becoming popular. different kids from different cliques that were not popular and becoming popular. That I saw that movie. That movie was not that great, and I wish I could see Victoria Justice back. And I love that Elizabeth Gillies is playing in Dynasty, the remake of Dynasty from the 80s. That's a show my mom used to watch as a kid. I know that show was too young for my mom. My mom said she used to watch it at night when my grandmother would do her and my aunt's hair. They would watch that show, and they know they weren't supposed to watch it. But it's not like my grandmother allowed them. My grandmother would allow them to watch it. And it's a remake of the one that came out in the 90s. But a lot of people said that came out in the 80s. My bad, 80s. Because I know when Dynasty came back on with a remake, the people that originally played the cast, like the man that originally played the father, I think, or the son, was saying how he didn't like how they were doing a remake of a show that he played in years ago. It made him a lot of money to play as one of them supporting roles in that show. But now that show's doing really good anyway. Some people say that show's underrated on CW, but it's still doing good because that show did get renewed for a 5th season, and it's on its 4th season right now. So go check that out because Elizabeth Gillies is doing amazing on that show. Like, she plays the main character, and she's killing it as... And if you watch that show, you'll see the similarities. A lot of people are even saying that her character on that show is like a grown-up version of... She's like a grown-up version of the character she played on Victorious. And that's my opinion. So, thank you so much for watching my video. Let me know your opinions. What do you think about... What do you think, or how do you think Victorious would have looked like if it would have aired on Teen Nick as a young adult show? Like a teen show, but like sort of like a teen coming of age show. What do you think the show would have looked like with a Teen Nick instead of Nickelodeon? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to click that like button. Subscribe. Comment down below your opinions on Victorious, the show, or your opinions on Jade. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.